say in the, what should I say, in the growing up years, 70s, 80s, so you look around what the other people, other so-called successful people keep doing in your vicinity, neighborhood, relatives, etc. And as you know, in economics, one of the topics in development is aspirational traps.
Right.
So you are generally guided by what you see, and that's how you build your career. Very few rare exceptions go out of the orbit and become something else totally different. So you see government employees, bank jobs, those are the kind of things. In my college years, etc., the super successful people used to be doing CA. So these were the range of options in front of us. And of course, engineering was a long run process those days, 5 years, over and above 12 years, big time investments for many of the middle class or lower middle class families those days. So obviously you get pushed into that kind of stuff. And that's how I end up in finance. Well, both ambition and success are as you define it. In terms of ambition, I have a different kind of ambition. As I said, I am a creative person. I like experimenting with newer and newer things, try out new things, innovate, look at something new, that kind of stuff. You do that and you succeed, and it pays off, and it meets the parameters of success, whatever you define. It appeals, and then it gives a lot of sense of satisfaction. But then if you I go from one to another and to another, not necessarily upward always. So that is what has been the most successful career path, I should say. It is more a horizontal kind of thing, not necessarily a vertical kind of stuff. Even today I might be experiment with a little bit of taxation on forex or in finance or something. Those are not necessarily career enhancing, boosting or ladder climbing kind of exercises, but that to me is success. Keeping the journey of continuous experimentation, ideation, new ideas, implementing them, that's the kind of success I look for. I would like to believe that I'm a consensual kind of leader. Whenever there is a topic or decision looming in the horizon, I start a process of consultation and discussing things very casually with the various stakeholders, various people involved. Once everybody has a say on a subject and he discusses everything and he has understood the other people's point of view, generally a solution emerges and evolves by itself. And I would like to believe that if all the people concerned with anything have similar kind of information, hopefully they will come to a consensus decision much faster than when the levels of information differs from person to person. And then there's conflict and trying to understand all these kinds of things. In most of the cases, in my opinion, a little bit of give and take here and there, and not to be seen as siding with someone or being partial to someone, all this definitely helps. In terms of my own people, how to get the best out of them, yes, training to put all the skills required for the performance of jobs and way beyond, so that they can come out with alternatives at any given situation, not to be stymied or stuck up with lack of alternatives or something. I do give a lot of training. I do throw them into the field and ask them to experience and things themselves and come out of problems. I do give them the leeway to accept something has not worked, so that they can be upfront about it rather than beating around the bush. And of course, the last is the trust and confidence I repose on them. I trust them totally to deliver. I trust they are very committed people. And of course, I have confidence in their abilities. And once you feel you are trusted, it's very difficult to let the other person down. So I do believe that they give the best to me. Okay, I would start with the later part, that's the challenges. My previous company was down in the doldrums and perhaps sort of tanked if the laws of today were to be applied there, but to manage the first phase through financial interventions has been a great matter of satisfaction to me. In this assignment also, we went in for a big expansion, and one of the main cost drivers, that's the wood prices, almost went up by 150% or something in a very short span because of some external disturbances and government interventions. The first about 1.5, of course, the EBITDA margins just vanished from 24-25 kind of percentage. It must have come down to about 6 or 7%. That would have definitely induced some heavy defaults. But for the first phase, we had to manage it largely through financial interventions, communication, etc., which we did. That was a matter of great satisfaction. Of course, the company has implemented several other cost-saving exercises to come out of it. And of course, lastly is the takeover of Sirpur paper mills last year under the new IBC code. We are one of the first few companies, maybe in the top 3 or 4, to take it over. An entirely new kind of experience. In fact, for many of us, including the judge and the lawyer and the bankers, I went through very smoothly because of close coordination with them, trying to understand the various procedures, laws, and despite several other appeals and counter appeals by various parties concerned, we were able to quickly get over it and take over the unit for running. That's been one major overcoming the challenges. I think to be a great and good and effective CFO from the perspective of the stakeholders' expectations fulfillment, I think you should have a very good sense of the overall economy, where it's going, what are the various parameters like inflation, interest rates, cost structure of your own industry, try to see what is the source of sustenance of your business, understand it well and serve it. I think CFOs should go more to the shop floor. They should understand the technology, sources of optimization of that technology, timing, cost, where the raw materials, etc., are sourced from, to see if there is some buying efficiencies can come in, or you can alert the various people to opportunities outside. We should definitely visit the markets at least once a quarter, at least for 1 or 2 days. Talk to some dealers, distributors, etc., understand how the market is, how it's going, etc. That can really add a tremendous amount of value to your own function and the way you interact with the other functions. And once you have communicated well, they also build up their own defenses inside, and to that extent, the navigating any crisis becomes a very, very easy exercise, in my opinion. And of course, you have to be a good networker with the industry people as well as your own employees, and you should, of course, very good at strategy, or at least understand the strategy that is evolved. Of course, now IT has become a survival kit, so you need to be knowing quite a bit of IT and what it does and what it doesn't. Even if you don't know IT, you should know at least what IT can do, and be in a position to demand it from your guys, so that you are on top of things.